Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Roll call.
Jenny David. Here. Craig Scott.
Here.
Ron Vaughn.
Here.
Brandon Becker.
Here.
Mark Serbrook.
Any additions or corrections to the agenda, commissioners?
Oh, Mark had a EMS meeting, so he's probably just a little late because of that.
Okay,
I don't have any.
anything, guys?
Nope. Okay.
Okay, item 2, public comment. This is for agenda items only. Is there any public comment in the room? Any public comment on the phone? Item 3, appointments, 3A, Brian Gilbert, Sheriff, related to snowmobile purchase. Come on up, guys. Good evening.
Good evening, y'all.
You're in the hot seat. Go ahead.
I'm in the hot seat. All right. Well, as y'all got my email, we did get our snowmobile grant again this year. I put in for $7,700 to offset some of the costs from what we normally get. We normally get 5,000. And I want to put another 1,000 in to help offset the cost for fuel and about 1,700 to get the trailer fixed. So 700. And they came back with giving us 4,000 instead of. So. Long and short, obviously we can't provide the same coverage. That we've had in the last few years, what we've gotten 5,000. So I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do, but we'd like to give a little extra.
Well, like 5,000 last year, was that 5,000 from them? Because I see 15% from the county.
Right. It's total, it's 5,000.
It's a total.
Total, I'm sorry, yes, total is 5,000.
So what are we getting from them this year then?
4,000. Total.
Total from them?
Yeah.
Nothing from
Well,
the county?
No, that's including the 15% from the county.
Oh, that includes it.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, we're getting like 35 from the state.
But you can go by, you can get by it with the snowmobile for another year. Because it says you were going to.
I was going to, but we were doing some discussing and, you know, our current snowmobile is over 10 years old. It's got getting a lot of miles on it. You know, I cover 105 miles of trails by myself. At all times of the day and night. I like to maybe have a little more peace of mind and have a little
New, I just bought a
little newer updated snow people that's gonna maybe not break down on me in the middle of nowhere.
Has it required much maintenance or repair in the past year or
Yes.
two? Do you know how much?
Yeah, about 1,400 we put into it last year.
Because it broke down or just maintenance or?
Maintenance, and it was because it was broke. And it was, like I said, it's getting to the point now where it's getting old enough that, and the new one I want to get is, it's got the 4-stroke motor in it. So it's a lot more dependable.
Gonna be white too, right? Because you want a camouflage stealth, right? White's fine.
It's
White in the woods.
You guys
It's
are
winter
me to
time.
get
That's
snow-
stealth.
Craig, I will get whatever colors you'd like.
Do you have a price?
About 19,000. There's the new ones.
You put 10 down.
I was way wrong. I went to St. Helens Power Sports today and
I seen that, but I thought you were gonna sell this one, you said, right? So
Well-
you thought the resale value, you put a,
retail value is between 35 and 45 right now. But again, we would like to keep the current one to have as a backup. And if there are certain weekends where we have, like the Ogemaw Hills Snowmobile Club has a big festival. It'd be nice to have the second snowmobile so that we can put another guy on it. So I'm not by myself out there.
I'll have mine up there for the show.
That's great.
I just got it last year in 1970 Ski-Doo.
Ooh.
so you're not looking to sell this one.
Honestly, I would like to keep it. But if that makes a difference between getting a new snowmobile or not, yeah, I'll sell the old, we can sell the old one. But I would like to keep it for a second snowmobile, obviously, and back up to, just in case something happened would happen to the new one.
So you don't have this money that you're asking for in your budget?
No. No, even when they keep cutting, I mean, just like the Marine, they cut me again on this one,
There's no grants available for this purchase?
not for this one. No.
Commissioners' opinions? Commissioner Scott?
Well, if you take 1,700 to fix the trailer out of the $4,000, you're down to less than half patrol time now.
Right. So,
You lost me somewhere.
Well, I'm just thinking out loud, but I'd be more apt to give you another 3,000 to get you up to the 77, another 3,700 to get you to the 7,700 level,
mhm.
and just use the sled we got. I think we'll still have some ARPA funds left over next year. When you come back and ask us in September, before the snow flies.
Well, I was really hoping that they would they were gonna give us a little bit more this year than what we,
Yeah.
but obviously, now however, our ORV grant for next year, they give us more than we've been getting.
Yeah.
For next year, so that's a good thing, but they cut us on the snowmobile, so.
Yeah.
Is there any availability with the snowmobiles? I know nothing. Are they back ordered? Are they?
No, they have them. They have one. According to the St. Helens Power Sports, they can get me what I want, the one I want.
New one?
Huh?
A new one?
Yeah.
Oh,
They have connections apparently.
new guy there.
New guy there.
Yeah.
Work for corporate,
Just
so,
sold out, yeah. New guy there. Cause they haven't sold a new snowmobile there in a couple of years, but.
they do have one there that's a 2020 model. It's got 500 miles on it but that one is 16,000. I don't know how you guys feel about buying a used one. I would like the new with the warranty and
Yeah,
name of the game is keep things updated and that.
well, we just bought a used van last month.
What year is your snowmobile?
Currently, it's a 2012.
Commissioner Serbuk?
I just, as much as I hate to say it, I think they need to just drive on with what they've got right now. Till we find out where we're at with the ARPA funds.
Commissioner Bond?
Well, I used to ride myself and I understand you don't want to get out in the middle of the trails and break down and end up walking many, many miles. But I don't know. I have to put some thought into it.
Commissioner Becker?
First of all, we can't take the money out of road patrol?
No.
So this would be considered road patrol at all? It's only a separate budget.
Separate, yeah.
Well, I know it's a separate budget, but. It's not.
Is there money
It's not a
somewhere?
road patrol function. I don't know.
Yes and no.
I would say-
No, it's not. It's trail patrol, not road.
Let's put it this way, I will be on a pair of skis before I'd ever ask for money out of road patrol for this, so.
Well, I agree. They need to have two sleds. I think that would be obviously a lot safer. If they're gonna be out there, especially with big events going on, to have a backup. But we'll have to take a look at the budget to see if we can make it work.
My concern is they cut this from last year to this year. They cut it by $1,000.
Correct.
Wonder if next year there is no funding for this. We spend $19,000. And they've cut this. Then what?
That's, yeah, there's no rhyme or reason for it. Like I said, they give us 1,000 more on the ORV than what I asked for, and they cut it 2,700 off from the snowmobile, what I'm at.
I mean, because I understand your perspective, but you're saying in the same letter that you sent that you're gonna have to do less patrolling because of the $4,000, if I read that correctly, which I
Correct.
understand.
Yep. Well, we just can't provide the same
Service,
service.
right, and that's
I mean,
understandable with
The
a
current
lesser
economy
amount,
and-
but then $19,000 coming back with $19,000. It's a lot of money for a sled.
It is, back 30 years ago when I was riding all the time, a brand new one was $8,000 for the top of the line one. Now I took my job off the ground today when he told me how much the brand new one was, and I really was shocked.
I'd
The
like,
price of them.
I would like to wait another year, but that's my opinion. I understand the rationale. I'd like to see what the next year's grant is.
I would recommend writing a grant right for Yamaha. They're pretty lenient.
do that anymore.
Not at all? Oh,
No, they don't do anything.
Huh.
None of the manufacturers do that anymore like they used to.
all right.
That was one of the things I did ask, because I know in
Yeah, I'm
the past,
asking next year. Yeah.
yeah, they no longer have that program.
Well, what do you guys think about just boosting the 4,000 up a little bit? Give them some more.
I don't have a
control.
problem
I don't have,
giving them the $1,000 to get what they had last year.
I don't have a problem with that either.
Well, really, he's got needs trailer repair too.
That's not on here.
Yeah, well, it says, and the trailer
Trailer
needs
needs a little bit of work.
about 1,700, you said.
Yeah, because it needs a new cap.
I didn't see that on, am I missing that?
Second paragraph, second
Yeah.
sentence, right at the end of the sentence.
The extra $1,000 to put us back up, and then the 1,700 for.
I think we can take a little bit of ARPA, and
I'm not seeing.
bring them
that.
up to 7,500 or something.
I mean, can you get us some, are these accurate prices or is this just rough estimate? If you can get us a better. Was that rough estimate, the 1,700? That I guess I'm not seeing.
That's what they were last year when I quoted them out, so. For a new cap. For the trailer.
Where am I missing
Got
that?
that trailer.
Doesn't have, the price isn't in
No,
there, Kenny, but
That's the second paragraph. This is second sentence. Second paragraph cover.
it was email.
Well, the snowmobile trailer needs someone. I say, I didn't see the 1,700.
No,
The dollar figure wasn't there.
Oh, eight, I think.
No, he said that when he was talking, he said so.
I think we just need accurate, if you can get some prices on that, I don't have a problem repairing what you have right now.
Mhm.
And matching that 5,000 on top of matching the $5,000 grant and then whatever repairs you need. I don't have a problem with that. But I just think we need better pricing, up-to-date pricing on that.
Just by Tuesday.
Mhm.
Meeting Tuesday next week.
Is there urgency to this? Does this have to be?
It's going.
No,
I'm asking.
The problem with the current trailer, one of the problems is. I don't know who, I don't know, it was apparently before my time, but somebody put a ski through the sides of the trailer is really, they're thin. Somebody put a ski through it. It's getting bigger as it goes down the road. It lets road stuff in. It just needs. And the aluminum is bent in inside of it, so it just needs a whole new cover on it.
Okay, you have somebody that can do that and is willing?
But you'd have to buy a new one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the new cover. It would just have to pop it off, put a new one on.
do you know, pardon me?
Jim, that we could submit that for a purchase through our purchase program. We'll get the quote, we'll submit that through.
Right.
So my suggestion would be you do $1,000 if you want to raise it up to the 5, and then we'll do the research and submit for the purchase program, that form. I can't remember what it is.
It's
Yeah, we submit it that way, and then the board would have a chance to look at that form and make their approval on the repair that way.
Yeah, I don't-
Separate it that way.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that, and I don't have a problem raising that to 5,000. Are you guys okay with that?
So we could deal with that as a separate resolution, or if you can make note of it when we do the quarterly adjustment in January, do it there. And I would suggest that you consider not just the ARPA, but in the budget for 23, we once again budgeted $75,000 for contingency. This would kind of fit what that's all about. It's a smaller purchase, one-time fix of something that was unplanned. That might be a better source of funding than the ARPA.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, if he puts a prisoner on the back with him, we can take it out of commissary then, right?
But he mentioned skis too, and that's still,
No. I'm not hauling prisoners with it.
Well, you leave them in the trailer.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you, sir.
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Item 3B, Jeff Nichols, Veterans Affairs Director, 2022 Veteran of the Year. Jeff, you're on the phone?
Just got here.
Hi, you got the
Sorry
floor.
about being late. Took me a little longer to get home than I thought it would.
You're okay.
Yeah, I didn't get the one for you to sign over to Tim, like I thought I would. I was gone these last 2 days and I didn't get it over to him last week, but yeah, the Veteran of the Year, I got a resolution for you all to sign. I think you have it there, a copy of it at least. Yeah, and I'll get one over for you all to sign. It's kind of after the fact now since Veteran of the Year's already passed last week, so.
How did the ceremony go?
Went very well. Jack Wester, it went real well. We had a good turnout. I want to say about 100 folks showed up, so it was a pretty good turnout.
Good. I know Jack personally. Very good.
Yeah, he's probably going to talk with you down the road.
Uh-oh. I know,
Well-
I was not present. I was in a different state. I had.
Yeah. We didn't have any representation from the counties other than myself. So I read him the resolution and I told him I'd get him something signed from y'all.
Yes, I will reach out to Jack tomorrow.
Thank you. I
I'm sure
appreciate
he's
it.
mad at me. But it went well.
Yep, everything went well, went good. And then as you saw in the paper, we've moved, not us, the VA office, but the VFW, the American Legion 103 and VAV have moved into the state police now. We've still got stuff that needs to go in there before we can get in there. We also have a I can't remember the name. It's the former owner of Colvin's. He's with a church group in the city there, and I can't remember the name of the church that he's with. But they're going to install a ramp for us. So we'll see what happens there. Probably he's going to try and get it in before the new year. It just depends, but we got to have some plans drawn up yet. But they're going to do a ramp for us so we can, our veterans have a handicap access.
Good. Perfect. So we'll have this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Jeff?
Nope, that's it. Thanks.
Okay, item 4, discussion items, Ogemaw Hills Recreational Facility.
You look at page 2 of the minutes from West Branch Township, they discussed the Ogemaw Hills Recreation Facility at their meeting on October 12th. Just to refresh your memory, this is the property that the county has that we lease right now to the township. It's like a 99-year lease. And with our conversations over the past several meetings about properties that we really don't do anything with, and this lines are right up. We don't do anything with this property. We don't maintain the buildings on it. We don't maintain anything on it. And Commissioner Sherbrooke was at this meeting where they discussed it, and they have expressed their interest in following up if we wanted to put the property in their name rather than ours, that they're willing to discuss that.
Brad and I had discussion with it, and Jim Lucas is here. Jim's with the recreation. What's your official title?
Sir, do you want to come on up?
Come on, Jim. No.
Come on up.
Come on.
I haven't met you, so come on up, sir.
Don't worry.
It's just the hot seat.
Don't worry about the wires connected. Sure.
Not the first time you've been in that position, so.
Really?
Thank you for coming. Nice to meet you. So you are, what do you do with this property?
That's the Field of Dreams, and
Okay.
we have disc golf on it, and
Real nice walking
Actually-
paths and it's.
yeah,
Pardon me?
we're actually.
Walking paths where they built that new pathway that goes down 55.
Yep.
It goes to that facility.
And Ogemaw Shooting Sports has got the corner now on Dam Road. So they have bow and arrow shooting inside and stuff like that, so. Yeah, and we're actually housing a bunch of beavers right now too, so.
It's probably not good.
No, it's not. It's flooding a couple of the holes of the disc golf, but.
How many acres is there? Oh my God.
Big parcel.
Yeah.
Let's see, Ogemaw Hills, part of it was donated to Ogemaw Hills or whatever, we've signed the lease, but then Ogemaw Hills purchased some of it. The corner there is, but it's all one, and actually Ogemaw Hills, the Beasley Fields up in Clear Lake are run by Ogemaw Hills also. So until something happens where we don't do it anymore or something, then Beasley's will get it back. But this property is all the ball fields, there's softball, baseball, everything out there. We've done a few things to it, but then we have maintained the buildings, as you said, you guys don't, so we take care of everything there. And that's just why I'm here, just kind of interest to see what's gonna happen and where, and I went to the township meeting and they said that everything as far as our board would stay intact. And then they would just be our big brother instead of you guys being our big brother, so. I'm just kind of,
So we will give it to the township, West Branch Township?
That's what they're proposing, yes.
they had it at one time, and they turned it over to the county
Do we know why?
years and years and years ago. So I don't know why, but and now I don't know. Nobody's been able to answer that for me, but I don't think that West Branch Township has a park or anything in the township. So maybe they're want to use that for state grants, something, I don't know.
So why don't,
It was originally donated by my boss, Norm Lawton.
Norm law, right?
And I think maybe part of that parcel might have been Mary Fox's property too. I'm not sure what the property next to that was, but that's what it originally was donated for the purpose of being a park.
Right.
So, and I believe that the township would probably be more interested in putting or developing it more if they owned it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that makes sense. So,
That's kind of the feeling I got from them too, was, and I believe that they were gonna look at, DNR grants like, Parks and Rec has done, with the RV park and the deer park and stuff, to see if they can't get some grant funding to take and make improvements in there.
well, it's all, I'm on the DDA for West Branch Township as well. I think that would be, something we would look at including in that DDA development. So I think it would be a great idea, but I'm not speaking for the whole board.
right.
now, I guess,
I concur. Mr. Newbecker. Sorry.
I just had a
ma'am.
question.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I guess I just don't,
It's only what I.
why, do you guys choose to, no, it's when there are, do you guys choose to maintain it? Like your board is what is
Ogemaw
it?
Hills Recreation Department.
Okay,
And we take care of it. We mow the fields, we mow the disc golf, we do all of that stuff. We have for years.
which is great.
Yeah, Rose Beasley was the chair before I became the chair.
Mhm.
So, and that's been 15 years ago now, I think. So
How many's on your board?
7 on our board. So
So you guys do a lot.
we try, we have been talking about some fundraisers, but everything around is so flooded with fundraisers now that,
How do you guys get funding to maintain this property that's not even yours?
well, we owned the brick house or the stone house there. We sold the stone house, so we had some money. We owned the Quonset hut, stuff like that. So we rent the Quonset hut out. We rent the building out on the corner to Ogemaw Shooting Sports.
Okay,
And then, like I say, we're talking about some fundraising and stuff, but I went to the meeting last month and Jim said that they could help with funding if we wanted to go ahead and just, it's not up to us, I guess. It's up between you guys and the township, who, if you transfer it or whatever, but he told me that our board would stay intact and everything would still go as normal. So
And the township has donated some money already.
the DDA has,
Yes.
yeah, and other townships have given money.
$5,000 for.
Just
purchase of
recently for a
lawnmower.
building. Oh, yeah, for a lawnmower, and now we asked for some more for a building.
Yeah.
Because the building that houses all of the watering stuff is falling down, so we need to get that fixed.
you guys volunteer your time.
Yes,
Yes, they do. So they need some money.
Well,
And some recognition.
Yes.
I mean,
right now, the county is engaged in a 99-year lease with West Branch Township for the RV park. They own the RV park. And we just lease it, and we got another 88 years to go or something like that. I don't know, 60, I don't know. So maybe we could just trade with them. We're at their RV park already. They're at the recreation park. Let them have the rec park. They give us the RV park property.
is there any cons to this?
I can't think of any of it. It's
We could throw in the high banks too.
West Branch Township owning property in Mills, that'd be interesting, no?
This is right in line with what your prior discussion has been. If there's property that we own that we aren't
Maintaining.
maintaining or and it's potentially liability,
I'd just
it's a high
give it
bank
away.
that when we look at options like
Well,
this.
essentially,
Yeah, right.
The RV park is an interesting twist to all this conversation. So
Because we make money on the RV park.
Yeah, we do.
How
Yeah.
much do we pay to rent it or lease it or
Oh,
whatever?
It's just like $1 for 99 years or something.
And I think it's the same deal
The
that
same kind of
the
deal.
county made with the township on that
Yeah.
property that we're talking about.
There's no
right now.
money exchange.
So then why, I guess why own the RV park? If we're only paying $1 on it or it's not costing us anything and we're making money off of it, why own it? What's your,
Well, I mean, we got money invested in it,
right?
you know, and 60 years from now, the lease will come up and if the township wants to take it, take everything we put into it, they can, you know.
That's what I'm asking.
But then again, we could wait until our 99-year lease is up at the rec center and take over the whole thing too.
Do you feel like the
What?
township would give you more support if they owned it?
That I don't know. That's an avenue we haven't dealt with at all.
I just wonder why it went from them back to us or to the county.
Well, that's my understanding.
I'm not saying
I'm
they
not
did.
sure it did, but I thought that they did do something like that, but I'm not sure. I came in kind of blind on this too. I just happened to show up to a meeting and they made me the chair, so.
Yeah.
How often do you guys meet?
Once a month. Usually in the winter months, we don't, because we have nothing going on. So.
Commissioner Severson?
I think the question you asked about township support for them.
Yep.
I truly believe that because if the township would own that property, that they would qualify for those DNR grants to make improvements on that property. And the feeling I got from that board is that they're 100% behind this. To be able to do that. They would like to take and be able to do that. So,
They have the incentive and
Yes, they
the
do.
funding and the drive to do this.
yes.
Okay. Commissioner Scott?
Well, that's even a double whammy because you're in the DDA area too, so you got 2 funding sources there for that. I just got to thinking, you know, yeah, we got that long-term lease with them. Why not just make a trade? What the heck? I think the window's open for it right now.
You know, protect the infrastructure, the funds that
Right.
Ogemaw County already put in for infrastructure
None of,
in the RV park.
right. No, but nobody on any of these boards are gonna be there when these leases run out anyway, but
Do we pay for insurance liability on that campground?
it'd be on our umbrella.
oh, yeah.
Commission, but if we don't own it, if we're just leasing it, I didn't know if we pay for it or if who owns it pays for the liability on it. Commissioner Vaughn?
I'm with Craig, at least make the ask. And see if the possibility of a trade, you know, if they flat say, no, we don't want nothing to do with that, well, then go back. Again, I totally agree.
Then they'll have to take the high banks.
That's part of the trade. Give it to these folks.
Commissioner Becker?
When I originally thought of doing this, I was 100% behind it and I still am. So I think it would be a great thing for the township and for the people of this county. If we could develop that property some more opportunities for kids and adults to have somewhere to go and do things.
Tim, you don't see any negative impact
I
on this?
really don't,
Okay.
because we have like no activity from the county going on there at all. So we don't have like a parks department or anything like
Right.
that, so it just makes sense, you know, put it all under the one umbrella.
And I really think that with the pathway going down through there now, I think there's gonna be a lot more activity. There could be a lot more people going down there that will partake in like the disc golf and things like that, the hiking trails that are within that area. So I think it'd be a real win for everybody if the township took it, if they could get some funding through the DNR, be
Agreed.
able to make improvements on that. I think it'd be great, so.
Okay. You're gonna reach out and talk to them?
I'll do that and I will talked to our attorney about it too, about what paperwork needs to be drawn up, and Don Gohanek, who usually is on our regular meetings on Zoom, this is his area of expertise, so it should be a pretty quick turnaround. We get a document, get it in front of the township, work out whatever needs to be worked out and move forward.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jim?
Item B, driver authorization policy.
So this is a policy that you saw several meetings ago at a Cal meeting already. We did ask our department heads to review this. We talked about it at the department head meeting on Monday. Just walked through it. It is what it is. It's being proposed really through our insurance carrier. They would like to see us do this. There was no real outcry about the criteria, which is very subjective, and this is something that even the board could change if it didn't work out. And I'm talking primarily about that table at the top of the second page and the criteria that we use to determine whether or not you're going to be authorized to drive for the county. This is also hopefully going to be sort of self-administering. So if an employee wants to drive for the county, they're going to have to complete the companion document to this that says, this is my record. I have no preventable accidents. I don't have any moving violations, or only have one, or whatever that acceptable rate is. They're certifying that's the case. We do this once a year with all of our drivers. It should work fine. It will be on the webpage through Seamless Docs, so we don't even have to produce paper. They will authenticate it there. It'll be preserved in a PDF form in the cloud, so we'll have record of it. And then next time the insurance carrier comes through and asks, we'll say, well, here's the file.
Did the sheriff's department have an opportunity to look at it?
They did. We talked about it on Monday. Yeah, and
They were okay with it?
as far as I know.
Okay. It was pretty lenient, I thought, but I don't know anything about that stuff. So do you guys have any questions?
I
Commissioner,
think it's lenient too, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Commissioner Scott?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, Commissioner, okay. Item C, FOIA policy.
This document looks more ominous than it really is. We currently have a FOIA policy, which is included in your materials here. This is tweaking it to make certain that we are compliant with the statute. And you'll notice with virtually every paragraph, there's a citation for what which compiled law we're talking about. So if we ever needed to reference that, it's there. Just most of the changes are nuanced, but there's one in particular that we are technically in violation of the FOIA Act with our current policy, and that is we don't name the FOIA coordinator. We're supposed to
Yeah.
point to somebody, so.
I am
Policy
pointing.
does it.
You've been doing it correctly?
Yeah, I have, and it does reflect what we're doing now. And we'll get into the forms that are online and tweak those a little bit too, should this pass. And we will make sure that the FOIA requests no longer have to get routed through the clerk. They'll come right directly to me. And one less thing that the clerk has to worry about when she turns her computer on in the morning, looks at email. There is section in here though too that literally quotes the statute, but it says that if there is specific area of documents that are being requested, and I'll Sheriff again, I'll read over to the right. They maintain a lot of records like traffic accident reports and things of that nature. The statute does allow your FOIA coordinator to delegate those requests to that department, so it's just more efficient. So if somebody wanted a traffic accident report, they go right to the sheriff. They're probably going to go there anyway and just take care of it. It's dealt with. Yeah, and I would note too, once again, that this policy does not apply to the courts. The court rules will apply there. So think about maybe even writing that right on the webpage someplace in case, because that's when they're denied, that seems to be the big area. Somebody wants a court record. Well, we can't even access those. So other than that, it's just an attempt to bring us into full compliance with the statute. I think it keeps us safe. There are different statements that we have to put on our replies to all of our FOIAs. For instance, the FOIA policy is available on the website, has to be on all of our responses. So that's all memorialized in here too.
The time, I read through this policy last night, the cost and the time, the turnaround on this, is anything changed with what you've been in this policy compared to what you've been doing?
No. No, this policy absolutely reflects what we've been doing. We
Okay.
just had one last week that came through. Someone from New Jersey was asking for every email from 2020 to 2022, every email. And that was just one of the things that was asked for. There were a number of other records that they had asked for. And what I really like about the statute, and it's written up in here too, is it allows us to go through and do what's called a good faith estimate and how much time it's going to take to do this and the cost involved, and then request 50% of that cost upfront before we even start processing. Now, drawing down the emails, it's easy for Tom to get in and say, okay, here they all are, but somebody's got to go through there and determine if something needs to be redacted or not. That's where the time is. The total bill I came up with, and I was very conservative, was over $6,000. So we sent a reply saying, you send us your check for $3,027.18. We'll start processing it. Common misunderstanding that, when we issue an extension, that we have to provide all those materials within that extension time. No, we don't. We have to respond. But in this case, we also said, in that check-in, you can expect at least a 6 to 8 week turnaround before you're going to see any documents at all, because it's going to take that kind of time to go through everything you've asked for. Now, what were they after? I don't know. I just did a little bit of cyber stalking on the request here, and there was one similar request he made to some county in Connecticut and another one in Kentucky, and it looks like he's kind of a frequent flyer on these requests like this. I'm not sure he's getting much traction even in those other states. They come in like that, and we've seen an uptick in those kind of requests, but we still have to respond to them and still have to respect what they've asked for, and we can do it, but here's the price
Have
tag.
you got a response from him?
I don't think any checks have arrived either.
Well,
That one
since
blew.
2020, then the old peanut email won't be in there.
The what?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's an inside thing.
Nothing.
Jeez. Okay, so there's nothing really that we need to do with this. This is just an update.
Pass it.
Make everything. Do
We can adopt it.
you have any questions?
All in the way.
You can laugh. Okay, item D, administrative secretary position update.
As you know, hopefully by now that Mary has accepted another position within the organization. So we did post the position. I already have 4 qualified applicants.
Wow.
Already in. The newspaper was, I didn't really look at it today, but there was supposed to be an ad in there today. Posting it, so we may or may not get more coming in from that. I've opted for now not to do the Indeed again at this stage, because we did get about 42 applicants last time. And of those 42, maybe 1 was qualified. So it didn't really yield a good, what I would call constructive group of candidates. So frankly, with the 4 that I have right now, if that's all we got, I'd be satisfied, and we would proceed from there, just like we did last time. We'll pull the personnel committee together and conduct the interviews and report back to you what we find.
What's the deadline on it? The job posting?
Open until filled.
Oh,
I do that because if we had, like if the deadline was next Friday and nobody applied or something, or we had just unqualified, I don't want to necessarily drop it. But it's moved. We've got 4 good ones now, so.
did you change anything with the job description? Anything at all?
No.
Congratulations, Mary. So, do you guys have anything? Comments, questions, concerns?
No.
Commissioners?
No.
Item E, High Banks property. We're rocking through this.
I've gotten no update at all, which I think is an update in and of itself. I think the interest is
We're gonna
probably
give it to
there.
West Branch Township.
Go get salt to West Branch for a buck.
Wow. I guess, you know, I've
Put it
thought
up for auction.
I've thought about this a lot.
You want to buy it?
I'm just wondering why don't we put our feelers out there to sell it?
We
I
can
know.
list it.
Huh?
We can list it just like any other piece of property.
I don't know. I don't know. I know we were talking about, did you reach out to anybody?
I did not, because I didn't know what Mills was gonna do, and I thought, you know what, I don't wanna start anything, get anything going before Mills made a decision. So I have not. But I will certainly, if that's the desire of the board, I will certainly dig into that next week. And see if there's any interest out there from any nature conservancies or anything. You know, I kind of thought that most of us kind of wanted to see that property stay
I
as
did,
in a natural state and not put it out on the commercial market for,
I did. I wanted
you know.
Mills to, I wanted Mills to take it. I did.
Right, I
maintain
know, I
it. They
understand.
do a good job. I wanted them to take it. I really did. But I'm just concerned about turning it over to one of those to the state. Cause then I think once that happens,
Not done, it's not the state of Michigan, these are private
oh, okay.
nonprofit groups.
So it's not to the state.
No, these are private nonprofit groups that just conserve the property in its natural state. The ones I'm familiar with, they allow public access, but again, it's no motorized vehicles. You know, there's certain restrictions on, you know, the biggest ones, motorized vehicles, so they're not tearing things up. You know, but the ones on Boyce Blank Island, what I'm familiar with, they've put in walking paths. So I'm sure that the steps would stay there so that there would be access to the river. Again, I don't know if they'd even be interested in it, frankly, because I haven't made any contact with them. So, but I mean, everything I've seen that I'm familiar with, and there's several parcels of property up on Boyce Blank that are under different nature conservancy groups. And it's just a natural state. I mean, it's, you know, so it can't be developed. So
I guess it's worth looking into. We're kind of out of the season now, so I don't see the urgency with this, but
you know, what I really need to do is,
we need to continue the conversation.
what I really need to do before I really got into it was get, number one, how much property is actually there and kind of the description so that when I contact them, they can look at it on the county GIS and see what I'm actually talking about, because none of them are going to be local and familiar with the properties. So
Commissioner Serbuk or Scott, I'm sorry.
Call the canoe places and
That's what
see
I
if
was
they're
thinking.
interested in, you know. You can put a stipulation on it, they don't build anything big, but I don't care if it goes to senior condos, I don't care, just,
As long as they can still use it.
oh, I mean,
Fishing,
sell it, I don't care, that somebody just buys it and puts a house there, I don't care. That's fine.
and they could put a house there and still have, they could break it up.
Yeah.
You just deed restricted part of the property or one parcel. And said, this is for access.
Can you do that
Oh, yeah.
for fishing? Oh, then why don't we do that? To still have canoe access and fishing access.
I mean, seems like it would be a nice place to build a house anyway, but
Somebody else can have the access, we don't need it at all, we just need to.
I know, but I want to make sure that the public still has access to that. A lot of people use it. A lot.
Maybe the sheriff's office needs access to the river, huh?
We use it once in a while.
There you go.
Commissioner Vaughn, do you have a opinion?
with that, just put it up for sale and you might be surprised. The canoe liveries might jump in on it because I think they do pretty well use it. I think they slide in there and use that ramp going down to the river, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised if one of them purchased it.
I just want to again, make sure that it's the public has access to it. But I would like to see that property maintained. It's a beautiful property. That's,
If some kind of organization wants to grab it, that's great, I don't care.
so do you want to reach out?
I will reach out next week.
And see if it's even an interest?
Yes,
Okay, so let's continue to put this on for, so if we don't have an answer by the next committee of the whole, this is possibly our next step. Okay, you guys good with that? F, GPS update. Tom, do you have the hot seat?
I do.
Come on down.
you're the next contestant
Yeah,
on the committee of the whole.
if I win. I got a couple.
Might, so be careful.
I got a couple devices here. I actually just got this guy today, but this one's been set up. I've been demoing it in my office and this is transmitting information to Iosco County now. They haven't set it up on their end, but their contract IT said that he can see this device talking. I did buy one of these at the cost of $140, and there is a subscription fee of approximately $15 per month per device. And then we have to pay for some place for this guy to transmit to. I didn't get it yet, so.
You bought what?
I
You bought that
I bought
device? So
this
that's
guy.
not that? What's that?
So this is for the patrol cars. The information to go to dispatch requires a certain format. These do not transmit in that format. It
So
has-
that is what goes in the car?
This is what goes in something other than a patrol car.
Oh,
This would go in like Brian Stein's pickup building and so on.
oh, okay, you lost me. I'm sorry.
These would be for patrol cars
Okay,
or probably leaning towards something like this, maybe for transport. I haven't gotten with the sheriff's office yet, but I mean, these are gonna be a higher subscription per month, but that's something that I'm still putting together for you. So I just got this today. That's funny. The guy didn't have a power cord. I heard from Adam today that this guy was talking, so I didn't want to unplug it and start messing with this and
that's two
So-
separate ones or these come together?
no, these are two separate vendors. Two separate devices, two separate vendors. Michigan State Police are using these right now. Other police agencies, including Oscoda PD, are using these. So I have a feeling these are gonna be cheaper. I don't know that for a fact because I won't know until I get a total number and get a quote.
You're using one right now, right?
Not using it in a car. This is in my office.
But I thought you were doing a trial that you had struggled to get hooked up or,
That's what this device is transmitting to, is that trial. So these don't just go like direct to these are cellular based and these transmit information to a software server. And these will too. So there's a 25 device minimum for the GPS gate. What I've been trying to do is get this together or this together because we don't meet the minimum number of devices if we do just the patrol cars. We don't meet the minimum number of devices if we do all of our other vehicles. If we do them all together, then we meet the minimum number of devices. So I'm trying to get everything under one account. So I'm trying to
that's
do.
fair.
So these will transmit the information to GPS gate and so will these. And so will this, but I don't know which one of these I'm gonna go with yet.
Okay,
So, and then GPS gate takes the information from either one of these and forwards it to Iosco County, but it won't forward the information from one of these, which is what I said. Iosco County doesn't want to see our transit buses and neither does dispatch.
that's fair.
So that's where I'm at.
So
So
where will that information go?
to GPS gate, but it'll only stay there for our information. And then you referenced something about the insurance discounts and whatnot. This has I didn't reach out to the insurance company, but I don't imagine the insurance company doesn't care about our vehicle's location. They care about how it's being driven.
Yep.
This has that capability inside of it.
Does those two?
No,
Because that was their concern.
was the sheriff's
It
office.
was, I mean, not the total concern, but it was brought up as, you know, we had some accidents last year. Better this year, but that was brought up in part of our insurance, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you guys were there in the insurance committee, is will these GPSs be able to know the speed, know? And we were
These will know the speed, not braking, not acceleration. This will know that all. So it doesn't mean that we can't use these for better connectivity and GPS to get it onto dispatches. Doesn't mean we can't put one of these in it too. In a patrol car, but that's something you guys can decide when I get everything put together.
isn't that the understanding you guys had?
Well, yeah, I mean, most of it is just obviously for safety. Braking is obviously important too, but I gotta imagine at some point they're going to have to brake hard and they're gonna have to.
I don't understand why they
Accelerate
want to
hard,
see it. They
so-
know it's gotta happen.
I was more concerned about that stuff on the transit or the other vehicles than on the police cars.
Right.
Just knowing where the police car is, knowing if something happens, we know where to respond to, that they're not responding in. Just stuff like that, you know, just for safety and response time and obviously making sure that we know that all of our vehicles that we're using in the county are being used effectively and responsibly. So all of it, all inclusive.
Commissioners, Commissioner Serbrook?
Flyer there. I'm not so concerned about the braking aspect on the patrol cars either. Haven't been there. I know exactly what
You're gonna be doing.
there's a lot of it. Well, use fast acceleration, hard braking, that's just part of the job. But you know, I mean, if the speed is there, if there's an accident, you know, the patrol car is involved in, at least we're gonna know how fast that car was going at the time. If he wasn't responding to an emergency call, he was doing 90 miles an hour, shame on that officer.
Yeah.
You know, Again, until the price comes in, I mean, if the price is affordable, it wouldn't hurt to put those in patrol cars as well. Again,
If it's gonna save us from a insurance, if it's gonna.
if the insurance, if it's good and it's an affordable thing, it's a definitely the way to go for an option. If it's if it's not gonna save us that much money and it's gonna cost,
Right.
you gotta look at the economics of, benefit versus, risk and reward kind of thing. So I think until Tom gets some pricing, I don't think we can make an intelligent, at least I can't make an intelligent decision to say, put it in a patrol cars as well as transit and equalization and building and zoning and, so.
Commissioner Scott,
Well, I know that I was at Waste Management when they were starting to put GPS and cameras in and everything else. And of course, the initial reaction is that you're trying to catch me doing something. What it did was it backed up our drivers. I know of a couple of cases that driver would have been terminated because of the accident he was in, but because of the GPS and the recording of his acceleration, his foot on the brake pedal, all that saved his job. And matter of fact, the one accident that happened right out 33 and 55 became a training tool for the whole country, for all of Waste Management, because of the technology was in the truck. He did everything he was supposed to do, we used it a lot for tracking customers' complaints. They said we weren't there, or we said we were there, destroyed their property. I was able to go back, show that we never even got that far down the road. We only stopped before that 6 weeks in a row. I took this color picture with the lines on it and showed the guy, and he's telling me, "Oh, I know the prosecutor, that's just down in Aranac." And I says, "Well, I'll just tell you, we got a busload of lawyers and they're gonna have this piece of paper right there." So it does help. It does help. And to go to your point, we had the garbage truck that was going 90 miles an hour up US 127. Yeah.
You get garbage truck going that fast?
No, but that mechanic stopped at home to get lunch on his way to fix that truck. And he thought he'd make up the time. But no, I think it's a great thing. It's technology, and we got to it. And it was the last time we bid the insurance, we had one company would not bid us because of past experience. So we gotta be proactive on how we're handling things.
Commissioner
It's basically the safety aspect, knowing where your officers are, and they said something's going down, they can't get to a radio, they can't report in, and they got so much time. That it's definitely gonna help, so.
Commissioner Becker?
I definitely think it's important. Even with transport, something goes wrong, you got an inmate in that vehicle, and all of a sudden, no one's checking in. We at least know where the vehicle's at.
It's sitting in a rest area on I-75 and they're chasing the guy through the rest area because he had to use the bathroom.
Yep.
All county vehicles, not just.
Yeah.
That's happened more than once.
So you're gonna keep us,
Yep.
are we looking at it? We'll continue to talk about this. What time frame are you working with? I
I'm
know we're in the
trying.
Holidays. We appreciate
I know.
that.
This has been anything but easy, and I'm getting frustrated too, but I'm gonna try and have pricing for the next committee of the whole, but I'm not gonna make any guarantees.
No.
I'm gonna try and get it. If I can't get it for the next, I'm certain I'll have it for the following one. But I'll be back for another evening meeting. And
We appreciate
I
your
know
work,
it.
Tom.
You're welcome.
And you know how nice it is to actually have you here present, and you do a very good job, and we appreciate that versus like some of the other counties that we've talked to, and they contracted out. So I know that you are appreciated, and whenever we have a question, you do your due diligence and you respond. So
Thank you. It's been one of the frustrating pieces of this is I reply a lot quicker than I get replies, and that's been frustrating.
That
It
is
is,
sad.
because I sent a message out to the company that the GPS gate recommended. I never got a reply. Sent them a message. I've never got a reply. Can you help me out? And finally, they turned me over to another company. So
We've been talking about this for quite some time. so
I know.
It's good that we're making some headway, so thank you.
yep, no, thank you.
We should put some hardware in your hands.
I was in Cleveland, Ohio yesterday, went to Sterling Heights, stayed in Frankenmuth last night and brought this to me in person today.
Really?
Yep. So I was impressed.
Item G, time clock update. Go ahead.
I don't have anything.
I had reached out to you and asked for our legal team to put together a policy and procedure that I didn't see one.
Did not. That was about a week and a half ago, and I unfortunately have about 4 other things in front of them right now that they're reviewing. 3 of those contracts, and so yeah, it'll happen, but it's behind a few other things.
Do you guys have anything? Do you guys have, are you guys okay with the policy and procedure on this? We invested time and money into this.
Yeah.
I think we need a policy and procedure on this
Oh, absolutely, gotta have policy. Absolutely gotta have policy.
for hourly employees, all county hourly employees. Commissioners?
Absolutely.
Okay, so more to come on that?
Yeah.
Item 5, public comment. Any public comment in the room?
Jim,
Come on, sir.
come on.
Give me something.
Danny, say something.
Any public,
Missed a couple meetings. I have nothing.
any public comment on the phone? Mom,
Come on, Mom.
she knows how to unmute now. She was deer hunting. She might not want to talk.
Doing good? Try dragging it out the woods.
She must-
Oh, there she goes. Come on, Danny.
No box, just deer.
Thanks, Mom. Any other public comment?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn,
Support.
6:26. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion adjourned. Thanks, guys.